Well, guys, looking back at some of the videos that I have, I've noticed a bad sound quality where you can't hear half of what I'm saying.
I dream of sailing. You know I always dream of sailing. Take me far away. Sailing. You know I always dream of sailing. Freedom on the seas, fire. Dancing on the waves toward places we don't know. Loving life Hardtop style and steady as we go. I dream of sailing.
I apologize for that. Also, there's some construction going on right outside my boat. Well, update on the hardtop. I know I showed how we brought it up, how we struggled to bring it up to the top of the boat, and I showed some pictures of the construction going on. But anyway, what we used to construct the base of this hardtop, it was this 2-foot by 8-foot sheets of foam insulation. Regular stuff you buy at Home Depot and any hardware store. It's very lightweight. It's a little bit flexible, but it has a decent compression rate. And what we did is we put it all together, and I glued it one to the other with foam insulation, the spray-on foam insulation. I would load up the groove with it and press the two panels together, and of course I would get a little bit of build up on the top, which I would just chip right off without any problem. And we did that to the overall sheets. And when we put it together, I must admit, it was flimsier than I thought it would be, and it had me a little bit worried. But I knew that once I started laying fiberglass on this, it would start working out. Problem with fiberglass, I saw a YouTube channel that told you what to do prepping this so you could lay down polyester resin, the regular resin that you would use on most boat building rather than epoxy. The stuff is compatible with epoxy resin and fiberglass, which is kind of on the expensive side. But the YouTube I saw was a guy doing tests on several types of foam, and he concluded that if he applied 5 coats of latex paint, house latex paint, on the top of this, and then went with the resin, the latex paint would prevent penetration from the resin, and it would hold up. Well, me being who I am and who insists on trying different methods and not necessarily going by what somebody else tells you, well, we went and I applied some latex paint on it. But the latex paint was really, really thick. It was applying almost like a paste. So I did that, sanded it down. It was enough to fill up a lot of the voids that I had in there. So it's like, yes. So I gave it a good sanding, applied another coat on the top of that, and I figured, okay, I got 2 heavy coats of latex on the top of this, should do it. Voila, it did not do it. It created kind of a mess for me because it started bubbling up on the paint, creating bubbles, and then they would break and the resin would penetrate through it, and it caused me all kinds of problems. Like for instance this is just a little bit of resin from us working over here on this tabletop polyester resin that hit it, and you can see it's got a lip over here. It's uneven. It started eating away, and I'm sure this was just a drip or a smear, or maybe I put the brush down. I don't know what it was, but anyway, that will do that. Maybe the latex would have done the job, but definitely if I was to do it again, I would have bit the bullet and gone with epoxy right off the bat, because it would attach itself directly to this, not worry about any separation from the paint and the foam board. So I should have done that right from the beginning, at least for the first layer. And then after that, I could have gone with the polyester resin and finished the other coats. What I ended up with was 3 coats of fiberglass. Strand mat, the weave, and strand mat on the top again. And the strand mat did a pretty nice job. We actually did a pretty nice job on the finishes, other than the first part we did that we messed up on, that we went with the resin on the top of the paint that started blistering up, and we struggled with that. And the other 2 sections or 3 sections of this that followed up, we went with epoxy, and that worked out pretty well. So anyway, yeah, live and learn. Now the weight of this is extremely light. I mean, what I used to build the whole top, I could lift it up with one arm. It would be bulky and awkward, but yes, I picked up the whole bundle of this. We bought, I believe, 12 sheets, if I'm not mistaken, because they're only 2 feet wide. And these cutouts are what's left over from when I would do the length, because my top is 12 by 13, 12 feet by 13 feet. So anyway, we put it all together, cut it with the original template that I had, that foam board, not styrofoam, that starboard edging that I had saved on the side over here. And I basically put that back up like a puzzle over the whole panel, and that's what I used to do a trace out of what I needed for the top. So we've been working on several things. Been working on generator, did a little work on my hot water tank today, because it's not heating up with shore power. So I did a test on the electrical. The electrical is okay. It's reading 2 legs of 110 volts each. So that's giving me the 220 going in, but it's probably not going through the thermostat. So I ordered a new thermostat for it. And once that comes in, I'll put that in, and the rest, well, we are almost there. Now on the bottom, I've gone through all the seams with thickened epoxy and catamaran, and we basically went through it and spread it out. This, well, can't have that. This is ready, well, almost ready, to go ahead and start laying some fiberglass on here. So hopefully I get a really nice finish on this, where it doesn't give me any build-up areas. Hopefully I get a nice smooth finish on this, and this one is going to take just 1 layer of the strand mat. Hopefully we'll see you in a bit. Well, getting to the end. sanding, this is the bottom part that you see all the time. So sanding it down with a belt sander. This thing is at least 30 years old and still going strong. Good old for the cable when they were good. Anyway, going with the belt sander. Up to here it's going pretty well. But this last layer that we laid out yesterday, which was a different epoxy, is still a little bit gummy. It's not tacky, but when you heat it up, it's not coming up to a dust like that. It's rolling up a little bit. And on the belt sand, it's really not building up the blade either. So it's just the matter that this takes a little bit longer to cure. It's a 1-to-1 mix, where these were 5-to-1 epoxy, so it was a different brand, different chemistry of the resin. But the whole top now, I can pick it up from any one end and it doesn't collapse, it stays its shape. So I'm happy with that. Then I will finish up all of this edging, cut it up, trim it and all that when it's actually on the top and I fit it. Probably cut a couple of channels for electrical on this and divide it up and then see exactly what I'm going to do. I can hide most of it on the top of the pipes, but that I can only do once it's up there and I line it up perfect, scribe it, mark it up with a pencil where the pipes lay out, so I can cut in the middle of that. And that way on the pipe it won't collapse, it won't do anything, it will be just above the pipes. We'll see. But coming along, I am happy. Okay, so hardtop, the bottom side looks pretty darn good. Don't pay attention to that because that's not finished. That will be finished up on the top. A while back on the old one, I had this screwed into an edge that I had out here, a little bit of an edge, and it was screwed in. On this one, I decided to cut a groove with an offset, and what I did is I used a popsicle stick, made a little notch on it, and just ran it along the outside edge and the pencil in there. And then with the grinder, I just went and cut a 1/16 inch groove all the way around to sit that track in, which is the part of the cut where I overcut a little bit. And this has, like I said, a 1/2 inch profile, and I stuck that 1/2 inch profile into that groove with epoxy. So we poured epoxy all the way around, that's why you see this shiny edge, and formed it. The metal was already round, but it was just slightly off on this, not the exact same curve, but it went easy in, and so it stiffens up the edge even more. I was a little concerned at first because this was very flimsy, picking it up before putting this bottom coat, but right now it's a one piece. That's it. It's solid as a rock. I can walk anywhere on this between the framing up there without any sag whatsoever. So this looks good. Hopefully the curve that I got there is about the same as I got on the frame upstairs, because it will be hard to pull it down. But in the event that that was the case, I would just drill the outside round pipe that's going to sit over here, just a round pipe with true bolts all the way through, and a nut on the bottom, and all would require would be just maybe 3 on each side, 3 in the back, and so on and so forth, and of course in the front. I do not want the wind to pick this up. The way we're thinking right now is that I will apply a 2-way tape or whatever on the square framing, also to lock it down. So the bolts will be for only if the thing doesn't contour exactly to the shape of the hardtop of the metal frame. So right now I'm actually just cleaning up underneath the boat a little bit and putting everything together so the marina also doesn't give us a hard time. They haven't at all, but I want to make sure that whatever we do, we maintain an orderly things in order. This was my old sliding door, which will not be used. This will be for the sliding door, and it's going to have a return and basically a U channel on the side. It will slide up in between another piece. And here's the plexiglass to do a nice square cutout on this one. Hopefully will look a little bit better than that once said and done.